Hey everyone, welcome to Tell You the Truth, the podcast where the group chat comes to life. I'm your host, Brittany Sharpton, and each week we dive into those juicy conversations, usually reserved just for our closest friends. Stories about love, wellness, careers, and personal growth. This is your space for unfiltered honesty, shared laughs, and maybe even a little self-discovery along the way. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, settle in, and let's get real. Because to tell you the truth, our stories deserve to be heard. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Brittany Sharpton, and this is the very first episode of To Tell You the Truth. It feels kind of surreal because this has been long in the making, long overdue. This podcast is a labor of love, vulnerability, a lot of self-reflection. I would be lying if I said there was not a lot of self-doubt, trepidation, but I am so happy that I am finally here, learning to let go of the mask that I think so many of us feel the need to wear, not because we are hiding per se or afraid, but as a form of protection. But I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be sitting here on the mic talking to you directly, and I am so ready for all of it. For those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am a proud Miami native. Mangoes and conch salad hate to see me coming because I tear them up. Anyway, I am the oldest of three. And you know what they say about oldest daughters, nurturer, overachiever, and always juggling a million things at once. I was a student of the Wharton School of Business, where I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Economics with a concentration in marketing and finance. After Wharton, I took on New York City, dove into the grind of Wall Street as an investment banker. I still look back, those were the very best years of my life. So much fun. Sometimes I wonder, was it because I was living my best life in my 20s, or is New York really amazing? But my passion for creative problem solving led me to launch Apexa Consulting, which is my fractional CFO advisory firm. And I now help entrepreneurs and small business owners build their legacies and bank accounts. You will find me baking when I'm not building businesses because my cream cheese pound cake and peach cobbler will give your grannies a run for her money. Yes, I am that confident. I love to travel. Jet setting in search of the best food and vibes is my thing, or indulging my coffee addiction at cute cafes. I love to people watch. I have lived in big cities and high rises all my life, yet I am claustrophobic and I absolutely hate elevators. Go figure. If the building is super crusty and there are not too many floors, I quite literally will walk the floors. Like, it's embarrassing, like when I'm with people. Yeah. So I am a single woman and I do not like mowing lawns. I don't feel like hiring a landscaping or lawn company. So I rather just pay the overpriced HOA and let them handle everything. My guilty pleasures: ratchet music and reality TV. The more ignorant and ridiculous, the better. I'm passionate about creating a life where ambition and self-care aren't at odds, and I thrive on authentic, real, genuine connections and conversations. And part of keeping it real is recognizing that life isn't all highlights and rarely is it fair. You know, when I was imagining what my life would look like at this point, approaching half of 80, it was so different. I thought I would have a crystal clear idea of my passion and purpose. I thought I'd be doing the family travel around the world thing with financial freedom, with my fine-ass husband. And here I am without that family, grieving a life that I thought that I'd have and still figuring out what my path even looks like now. And I know I'm not alone in this. I think so many of us feel this pressure to have it all figured out, especially by a certain age. The world tells us what our timeline is supposed to look like, And when reality doesn't match up, we sometimes feel like we failed. But I want to push back against that. I want this podcast to be a space where we can talk about all the things, the messy, the complicated, the unexpected, the embarrassing, and find comfort in knowing that we are not alone. I want us to talk about being a Black woman in spaces where we're underrepresented, which is the whole freaking world. So it's not just on Wall Street, but also in our very own communities when we don't fit the typical narrative. We'll explore what it means to be vulnerable when vulnerability is seen as a luxury we can't afford. We'll talk about being guarded because of all the times we've been hurt and how that impacts how we show up in relationships, how we show up at work, and even how we show up for ourselves. And we'll do all this without sugarcoating, but also without turning this into some endless therapy session. So I promise there will be laughs because life, even at its most challenging, can still be hilarious. And sometimes you literally gotta laugh to stop from crying. I want this to be a space where you feel like you've just caught up with a really good friend to say the things that we usually keep within the group chat, where you can feel safe and finally let your guard down. I want to share my journey, not because I feel like it's so extraordinary, even though I do think like it is quite unique, but because I know at its core, it's deeply human, from the struggles of navigating corporate America as a Black woman to being super civically involved and trying to do good in a world that often feels indifferent, to simply wanting to be seen and loved for who I truly am without the mask or the expectations. I know there is tons of content out there. Everybody and their side dude's auntie has a podcast, but their host is not. Brittany Amir Sharpton. I believe in the power of telling the truth, the messy, complicated, beautiful truth of who we are, what we've been through, and what we're striving for. I'm excited to be the Brittany that existed before the world told me who I was supposed to be. And I want you to join me on this journey. Together, we're going to explore, we're going to challenge, we're going to laugh, and we're going to grow. Episodes will be dropping every Tuesday starting November 12th. And I'd love for you to subscribe so we can build this community together. You can follow the show at totellyouthetruth.co and on Instagram, totellyouthetruthpod. And if you want to connect with me personally, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, I just made a TikTok. Brit Happens HQ, like headquarters. So yeah, drop me a note, an email, a DM, a comment. If there's anything that you want to talk about or a space to feel heard, please reach out. Let's create something special here. I am thrilled to kick this off, and I am excited for what we have in store. Thank you for being here. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Tell You the Truth. If you connected with today's conversation, please share, subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us grow this incredible Truth Tribe community. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts and follow on social media for the latest updates. Until next time, keep it real and keep showing up for yourself. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.